Welcome back to the Innate Life podcast.
My name is Dr. Zachary Tchaikovsky.
I'm Dr. Lydia Davis, and we are back on the Innate Couch today with another episode for you.
We also have a really special, fluffy, furry little guest, Archie.
This is Archie.
Archie, he's our little pup. He's not a puppy, he's 8 years old, but yeah, he's a good little boy and he comes
Forever
hangs
a
out
puppy.
with us. And he was already ready for the podcast, curled up in Lydia's arms before we even started. So
Yeah, I told you he'd be fine. So he might be joining us a little bit more for these episodes. Today we're going to be talking about Dr. Zach and his journey with structure and discipline. And I'm going to be asking him quite a few questions on how he lives a disciplined life and just some of the things that he's found along his journey as well. So I'm excited for this one, for a bit of a, get to be the interviewer for this one.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm excited to see what's going to come. I think, again, I don't have the answers for everything, but I'd love to share a little bit of my story, and maybe some things I share, people can learn something.
Yeah. So I have often called Zach a bit of a robot, and he's actually less of a robot than he used to be. But I used to call him
What do you mean?
I used to
Sorry.
call him a bit of a robot in the way that he was so often so structured and so disciplined in his approach to many things in life. So we're going to be asking him a lot about that today. But I want to ask you to start off, Zach, like where is there mostly discipline in your life right now? Is it like, is your life disciplined at the moment?
Of course, yeah. Like you said, I love structure, I love routine. So I would say almost every single thing I do would revolve around having discipline, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where did it start? Like, was there a time in life where you began being more structured, or where it really took off, or something that pushed you into, or have you always just been that way?
I don't know if I've always been that way, because I think about being a child and it's like I just had fun. Like I didn't worry about, ticking goals or being disciplined. I just enjoyed life heaps as a kid. I think one of my biggest maybe pushes into wanting to lead a life that has more structure and routine was probably even the start of university, where I found that when I was more focused on having my to-do list or structure or routine or like a calendar, I felt more accomplished, and that led me to feeling better. And because at uni it's 5 years full-time non-stop working 3-4 different jobs at the same time, you don't really, it was the best time of my life, but you also have to make it work. So I think having that structure and routine was just the difference between me feeling fulfilled in my tasks and my uni compared to not. Yeah.
That got me thinking as well, when we were at uni during COVID as well, how much structure and routine for me, but I know for you as well, kind of kept us sane during those lockdowns.
Yeah.
When we were at uni, the routine was something that you just had to keep up to get through, to be able to pass and do what you need to do. But I'm also thinking now in COVID, I think a lot of people would have felt this way, that when that routine falls out, you kind of go a little bit crazy. And when they, take things away from you that are part of your normal routine, that's really hard. So having that routine in that 2020 to 2021, even a bit of 2022, did a lot for me. That was so important.
Well, it's all about the balance too, right? Because I think that time we were forced to get completely out of our routine, no matter what your routine is, and it created a lot of instability, and you had no idea what was going to happen. So there was a lot of up in the airness. So you kind of just had to do nothing all day. And you did your work maybe, or, you didn't even work sometimes. So you kind of had nothing to do, and you couldn't go or do anything outside of your house or your neighborhood. So you had to implement, or I had to implement something on a routine basis, or a to-do list, or a habit list, so I could actually get shit done. Because if I didn't, 100%. I literally binged all day TV, bad food. And I actually remember, even though I was looking after my health at that time, I was actually the heaviest I ever was, and the biggest, and because I just ate non-stop and all the cheeky food, and it was pretty bad, but it was a good experience.
And because you were only allowed 2 hours outside.
Yeah, right.
Like that.
I mean, only allowed, but rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah. I'm curious, like in COVID, in that lockdown time where routine was like, well, for me anyway, I was holding on to that a lot. I know for me, I got really into my yoga practice because that was something that I was like, oh, well, I'm stuck in my house. Like, what's something that I can do every single day that's going to help me at least grow in this period of time? And at that time, I was doing my yoga teacher training.
That. Yep.
So that was like my thing that I anchored to.
Yeah, you're so into it.
I remembered my housemate had this workout app or challenge that she did like a soldier, like every single morning at the same time. And for her, I imagine that was something that like kept her feeling stable and good in that time. But did you have anything that was like, this is a non-negotiable this day in order for me to feel good, or just to like keep improving?
Yeah, actually that even further cements the question you asked, is like, where did it start? It definitely would have been COVID. It was like cemented, because I had a whiteboard and I remember I had like a tick. I drew up my own squares, and Monday, Tuesday, all the way to the weekend. And I had like, I had to do a workout every day, eat my good food, have my protein shake, had to meditate, pray, had to play my kendama. I had to do all these different things, my uni, my study, revise certain things for exams coming up. So I remember I even have photos of all those checklists that I did on that whiteboard.
Yeah, cool.
And again, I'm not saying I did it every single day. Like that's not the point. The point is just to be focused and have goals, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now do you have like a non-negotiable that's still that whiteboard moment of like every single day I have to do, or, do a certain thing?
I think most people think discipline is about being perfect, and I actually don't think that's what it's about. I think it's just about recognizing what your goals are and always performing and trying to do your best to hit those goals and achieve them. So like, today I have things that I want to do every day, and I definitely don't do them every day, but I know tomorrow's a new day. My Ben friend said, clock strikes 12 again, you just start again the next day.
Yeah.
And that's just been one of my things. So discipline for me is not just like, feeling like I did everything. It's like just that continuous strive for whatever your goals are. And that could be anything for anyone. If your goal is to be the best computer game player, your discipline must be playing computer games. But if you miss a day, it's like you just keep playing it, right? So whatever it is, that's what I would strive for and take on today, every day.
Yeah. Do you have one thing that happens every day?
Oh, okay. My one thing, well, look, I could tell you about like my things to do, but I don't really, it's not about what the things are. It's more about the mindset.
So like, what's your one disciplined action every day?
Yeah, but that's why I don't want to tell you like most things. Like, instead, my disciplined action is no matter what, I just keep going.
Yeah, okay.
So if I fail a day or fail something, it didn't work out, didn't hit my goal, my training, something, just the next day.
Persevere.
Yeah, that's it. So that's my one thing that I'll take, is that I'm not hard on myself anymore, because I realize that you can burn out with discipline as well. And that's happened a few times. And then it does not serve anyone well, including me, my health, or anyone around me, even the business as well.
Mm-hmm. On that, what's a moment for you where you burnt out from discipline or routine, or like, I think I have a bit of an idea. I've seen you burn out quite a few times.
Have I? Yeah.
But more so, what's one that comes to mind of like when that discipline went a bit too far?
Yeah, I think it's all about balance, right? I think discipline and balance, because you can just push, but the universe, like, you'll get some stuff out of pushing, but if you can pull and attract more, it'll be a lot better. So I've definitely been in phases where I just push. I didn't slow down, I didn't rest, I didn't recover. One of them was 75 hard, where I burnt out the first time I did it. Look, I've done it 2 times after that and accomplished it well. I didn't probably do it perfectly. There's a whole set of different challenges you've got to do with 75 hard, 2 workouts, drink a gallon of water, read books, progress photos, all these different things, follow a diet. But I did it in a way that wasn't like sustainable. Like, I burnt out. I wasn't prepping my body well. I wasn't honoring my body well. Like, when I felt like, stuff this, like I've actually got to my burnout point. I kept going, and then my body was giving me signs. I had the flu on and off again. I just was never feeling good, recovering. My mental fatigue was just horrible. Like, I had no strength there. So I was just pushing. I learned from that experience how to push and pull to then create the best routine of discipline, I think. Yeah, but 75 hard, I burnt out the first time. Day 44, I failed, cried my eyes out because I had such a focus on that goal. But it was a blessing because now I know it's not about the goal, it's just literally about the values and the journey, really. I know it's cringe, the journey, but it is. It's all about the journey, but it is.
The 75 hard is like it's a very disciplined challenge when it's done in the way that it was designed to be done. I know we've spoken about quite a bit how there's 75 hard kind of OG version, and then there's 75 hard as your own designed 75-day challenge.
Well. If we're really breaking that down, there's 75 hard and then there's everything else. It's not you can't make your own one. It's like I can't say I'm doing it in my own way.
But people do.
Well, then they're technically not doing the real challenge. They're doing their own thing, which is still great. You're doing something, but I'm pretty strict on if you've got a parameter to follow, don't bend the rules.
Yeah.
If you bend them, you're not going to get the results that are supposed to be achieved from that. So that's part of discipline too. Don't bend it.
Yeah. Can I ask, with 75 hard, so you've done it 3 times?
Yes.
With that, going into it, the goals that you had for doing it, now that you've finished it a few times, has it been like what you expected to gain from it?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it something different? Did anything surprise you that you gained?
Ooh.
Or did it challenge you in a way that you didn't expect?
Okay, 3 questions there. First one was, I think I really got heaps out of it. Past the burnout one where I didn't do it properly, and then I did it properly the next few times, it was the best I ever felt. I felt accomplished, which is my word of 2025, is accomplished, right? So I felt accomplished, I felt focused, motivated, I felt that I was using my time and energy wisely. I wasn't consumed by things that were just sucking my energy because I just I just want to lie down on the floor on my phone. No, you got to go do a workout or go do a walk, So that was really powerful. I definitely learned a lot about myself that, I can push deeper into some things, but I think I've probably learned from other experiences that I can push even further. And that's coming from a guy who, thank God and touch wood, hasn't been through something that's challenged my life in a way, life or death though. But it still is I learned a bit about myself.
Cool. I know when you're doing 75 hard, Andy Frisella was obviously a big motivator because he created the challenge, right? Did he create it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's someone who's a mentor, someone you know at the moment who's one of the most disciplined people that you know?
I would say that there's a fair few, but again, discipline, it's subjective, because discipline doesn't mean you're just doing things that you don't want to do for those goals. I think discipline means you have goals and you have focus. Discipline can mean you take time off because you want to recharge and reset. So I can learn that from Sam. I can learn that from Adam, who is right now non-stop training. He's on 75 hard again. He does it every year. He does a whole program every year. But yeah, there's lots of different. I would say anyone who's kind of accomplished anything really has to have had some discipline. So whether they're direct mentors further away or books or videos I watch, they would have to have a level of discipline that goes above and beyond the ordinary.
Okay. I've got a question here. What's a humbling moment where you had to just abandon structure? You had to just let go and go with the flow? Because you move into structure and discipline easily. You can switch that on very easily. But yeah, I want to know about a moment where you just had to surrender, let it go.
Okay. I think it was a very humbling experience when I was in a push state of running the business, which is fairly new. I haven't even completed my first year of running a business. It's only been 10 months. But I think it was a period where I was pushing and doing and nothing was changing and nothing was getting anywhere, whether it be our progress in the business, progress in our relationship, whether it be accomplishing things here, even energetically, trying to transcend to a different level or something like that. It felt like I was really blocked. And then this is where, again, my mate and Sam, mentor Sam, said the best thing you can do is get out of the discipline. Like literally go and be so silly, like just say we're going to the movies, we're going on a quick holiday, pack your bags, we're being spontaneous. And I think that challenged me because I was so like, no, I've got structure and I've got a plan and routine. But I found that when I started doing that, that was his greatest piece of advice ever, because then I learned that part of my discipline is to take time off. Part of my discipline is to get out of the doing and just be more. So that just brought me back to my roots of being grounded, connected, taking time for my soul, rather than just the pushing, which is great. Like you've got to push, and if you don't keep moving, you'll fall behind. But I also think part of that is taking time off to rest and recover, and not having a to-do list, just be.
Almost having it like built into the structure and built into the discipline so that you have to do it.
Yes, and that's the only way that I find that I can do that.
Yeah.
Because I find if I just take time off without, because look, I'm young, I'm full of beans and passion, like I've got all this energy and I'm excited to use it. But if I don't structure in a right way, like taking or scheduling that time off, then I feel like I've wasted time and energy. So I like to put it in together properly. I love that. I learned that from Sam.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that the advice you'd give to someone if they were like stuck in a structure? Or what if someone was too flexible and didn't have any discipline?
Well, that's where it's a balance, right? Like, everyone's going to be working their own unique way and be very different. I think you always got to go back to what are like your goals and your values. Like one of my biggest values, freedom, right? Like freedom to be able to create my own day, to be with the people I want to be, to work how I want to work, to take a holiday when I need, to eat what I want, freedom to buy anything I need, right? So that comes down to freedom. And I think discipline gives me that freedom because I'm working towards those goals. And I've realized that like my life goal of freedom, I've achieved it now. Like thank the Lord and the hard work that I can go and, buy a coffee or food or a car if I wanted, right? But like, that's not my main thing, it's the freedom. So the discipline is, what are your goals? How do you achieve them? And what are the tasks that you need to get to them? And that can be broken down by thousands of people in the right way. But yeah, you just gotta know your values first before. I wouldn't give tips on discipline until you know what you want in life. Yeah.
Cool. I love that. Okay. If there's anyone who agrees with me and thinks that you're a bit of a robot, or act as
I don't think I've heard anybody else say that.
What's something you do in your life or a part of your life that would surprise them?
I'd probably say I can probably come off robot-y because I'm really focused and I'm a Virgo. So like my energy can be really focused, really like locked in. So I come off like complete opposite of just like so up in the clouds and toodaloo and fairy. Like it's the opposite energy. Yeah, it's like the opposite energy. But I think it surprised people that I'm constantly working towards and connected to my heart space. Like, every single day I'm doing the work and the feeling and working in an energetic space of being connected to the heart. So yes, I may not be able to sometimes share or demonstrate or connect in the words, but I'm feeling it the whole time. So that might surprise someone that like meets me, is like, oh, this guy's like focused and locked in and like super dialed in, but I'm still like in the heart space, which that has only grown in the last, 4, 5, 6 years of doing the work. It took a lot of work. Like I'll never forget the time my heart was cracked open. I actually felt something like deeper for the first time after a big weekend of breathing and medicine and things like that. So that was, so I'm glad that's what someone might not know about me, that I'm focused, but the heart's pumping.
Cool. I love that answer. Is future you, if we forecast like 10, 20 years from now?
Holy shit, that'd be an epic version of me.
Is future you more disciplined or less disciplined? More structured or less structured?
If I was thinking, 20 years in the future, again, I would say more disciplined, but I just need to kind of put the asterisk there that discipline is subjective. Because another version of discipline is taking 3 whole days off to reset and recharge and not do work. So, you know what I mean? So again, if I can pass on the word discipline for this topic in this podcast, it doesn't mean, again, you're just locked in and not enjoying life.
It's not a to-do list.
No, it's not a to-do list. It means like you can lock in to enjoy life, like lock in time off, lock in to enjoy. So yeah, 40-year-old version of me, geez, that'd be insane. Or 50-year-old version of me probably is like having focus mode and then complete off the grid mode, where for 3-4 days I would do nothing but run the farm or the property or something that I want one day.
Yeah.
You know, like that would be epic. And the other days I'm like locked into work and business. That would be a version of me that's super disciplined.
And that's a different perspective than, you're right, like what most people would picture discipline as that person or that athlete that's like waking up doing the same routine in the morning and the evening and has the same activities locked in and is always like achieving the things they need to do. What you're talking about is like that's still an important part, because then it allows you the freedom to just like be and live the life that you want to live.
But it comes straight down again to what your values are. Like if your value is to, let's say, an athlete perform at a highest level, then you're going to need to sacrifice being time and freedom, because you need to be so dialed into things. Where me, it's not my goal, so I can eat the chocolate, I can take off a training session, but I'm still knowing on a consistent basis I'm overall doing really well. But I don't have to beat myself up if I miss my vitamins or miss my calories, because my goals are different. But don't get me wrong, like I've got my daily to-do list. I've got 2 whole apps that track different things, and I track it literally weekly to monthly to yearly and quarterly. But again, it's like, what are your goals for discipline?
Thinking about our innate community or anyone listening who wants to improve their health or their adaptability, what's one thing that they could do in a disciplined or structured way that's going to be the easiest to improve that across the board? Like if you had to pick one thing that everyone could do.
So do you want to know a tangible action, or do you want to know a concept?
Oh, give us both.
Oh gosh, okay. Well, a concept would be to ask yourself what, again, your goals are. So like what is literally your 2, 3, 5, 10-year goals? And then reverse engineer how that structure needs to be in place. A really easy example. I want to save up for a house in 5 years. Okay, well we need X amount of money to save up for that house. So I put away every week, every day, X amount of money, right? You reverse engineer that super simple, plain example. And then over a compounding time, you're going to hit that goal no matter what, as long as you stick to it. So if you find out what your vision is and your goals are, then you reverse engineer the discipline. So that would be my suggestion. It's just like, you got to get clear so you can implement. Because you could just be like, that's it, I'm working out every day and I want to get fitter. But like, what is fitter to you? Is fitter looking like...
How do you know when you're there?
Yeah, is fitter looking like a bodybuilder on stage, or is fitter being able to pick and run with your kids and perform at a little 5K jog and pick up some weights at home? You know what I mean? So what's fit? So I would say you got to get clear on that, and then you reverse engineer how to do it. Because a good example of that is I used to train at the gym just to train, and I had no idea what my goals are, and I wasn't training well. So I've spent 5-6 years of my life just training, and it's better than nothing, but I didn't do it right, so I just stayed the same. Whereas now I know what my goals are, I've got someone who can coach me on that, and we're doing better than I've ever have, ever, because I've got clear goals. So shout out to George.
Awesome. Thank you, George. Cool. I like this one. So you've had this disciplined life. You've been working with that for some time. What are some goals you have achieved from that structure that you maybe wouldn't have if you didn't have it?
Yeah, okay. The current state of my life is just a representation of my thoughts, actions, and most dominant beliefs up until this point. So, gosh, I'm blessed to be where I am. I've got a heck of a long way to go. But I think even going back to like trying to acquire a job graduating uni, I put in the time, energy and effort to visit chiropractors, to make phone calls, to put myself out there. That's a version of discipline. So I've achieved my dream job, you know, and I love what I do every single day, and it never feels like work. And even when it is work, I love it because my hobby is work. I love it. It's like my favorite thing. But going even further back, like I remember working every single day, waking up at 3 a.m. to be at site at 4 a.m. to clean and change and work on bus stops every day during uni, 10-hour days. And, you know, that in itself is a form of discipline, to get up, to do the job, and be there and finish. And then the discipline to making sure I meal prepped my food, went to the gym after, and still did my non-negotiables. And I was doing that when I was, 19, 20 years old. So that would probably carry through to today, with my focus, my discipline. And then it's a caveat. It's a bit of a, it creates some of the times chaos. Like too much discipline is not a good thing. So that's the balance that I have to deal with every day.
Yeah.
And suffer from. But if it wasn't for that, I don't know where the frick I'd be.
Yeah. Love it. Cool.
Wow, I must be answering these questions just so good because
you are
going straight to the next
one.
I
can't really fault you.
That's good. It's funny because you obviously know a bit about me too. So,
yeah, I learn things on these podcasts though where I'm like, oh,
yeah, I did that too. When I was listening to your one, I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
How does discipline affect living an innate life? Because we speak about how to live an innate life on this podcast quite a bit and be in touch with your innate. Where does discipline come into that?
Very good.
I have my thoughts, but I want to hear yours.
Yeah. There's definitely tangible concepts. You could probably talk about that. And then there's probably more realmy or thought realms, as we call them, thoughts and thought realms. I think on a tangible level, it's like, if your values are to eat innately, which means reducing processed food, and trying to eat healthier, right, or eat those things, then the discipline's going to keep you doing those things, right? So that's where that would affect that. I think as well, if your discipline is coming from within you, then you're doing something innately. Because if I watched a video and saw someone was doing this and this task for their discipline and their goals, then they're not actually my goals, right? So they're not my innate goals. They're somebody else's. So you're just copying someone else's innate. So I think if you know your own innate, which is your own inborn wisdom and knowledge and power and life force, then that will help you find out what your version of structure and discipline is. But then again, I say again, like, it's subjective. Make sure you enjoy life. Because if your innate is telling you, man, I'm desperate for that chocolate and I just want to hit that crave and feel that soul, then do it. I learned that from Sam. Like, don't forget to enjoy the little things. Occasionally. Yeah. You don't do it every night, but you do it when, you feel like your soul needs a bit of a craving. And I believe that innate has the power to do anything with what you put in it. So I have no doubt that if I ate a pretty dirty for you chocolate, we could convert that into good energy, because our power is the best, our body is the best pharmacy we ever have. I mean, we've been told it's shit, but it's so not true. It's powerful. Powerful. Can do anything. Literally.
The discipline also in what you just said, being able to decide if innate's telling you that from a good signal or a bad signal. So, innate or your body's intelligence can crave McDonald's.
Yes.
Does that necessarily mean that it's asking for it because it's the best thing for it? No, it's obviously not the best thing. There's far better foods that you could eat. But it's being able to go, okay, my body's wanting this. Is that aligned with me and good for me, or is it not? And I think the discipline is in always asking that question with every decision. If something approaches you in life, you go, oh, okay, I've got this road or that road. Which one is going to get me towards the greatest alignment of me with my truest self? And then choosing those as they come up. And they're going to be moment to moment, day to day, like just constantly at you. But having the discipline to know, where you want to be and does this align with it?
I'm reading a book with Wayne Dwyer at the moment, and it's actually the best book I've ever read. ever. It's called Inspiration, and I'm just obsessed with it. And he literally goes into that, like every single thing you say, do, think, eat, move is either feeding your energy or sucking it out. And I think, and he uses the word innate a fair few times in there. I wonder if he's been connected to chiropractors in some way, because he definitely is like speaking of our principles that we love, and the chiropractic principles. And yeah, he says that, it's like, what's filling you up? And then he says kind of, you know, remember to listen to yourself and your own inner spirit, which is a version of inspiring, which is inspiration, which is breathing in. So it's pretty powerful.
Which is innate as well.
Which is innate, yeah. Literally, it's all the same thing.
Just goes round and round.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What about you? How do you find it is living and being partner to someone like me who can be so structured and rigid? And I want to know the good and the bad, and you can share with them.
Should I share?
Because I don't know, like, you know, sometimes it brings up like some serious like conversations of, Zach, fucking chill out, like, you know what I mean? like we can move and we can change plans, and I've had to learn that from you to be flexible more. Yeah. So how do you go with that? I've never really asked you this.
I feel, generally speaking, that I'm independent enough that I still have that like agency to, even if you're being crazy disciplined and structured and I'm not needing that or wanting that in the moment, I think I still have like enough scope to be able to be like, that's you right now, but I'm actually fine over here chilling or like doing my thing.
I see that you go through a bit more maybe phases, like
but I have more phases for sure.
Yeah, you have an incredible amount of discipline and focus, and it's inspiring. But I definitely think there'll be more periods of like, no, I'm really listening to my body and innate now, whereas maybe I'll push through some of those. And I think it comes down to a few different things, like I'm on a 24-hour cycle, you're on a monthly cycle, like your body's going to change and feel different, whereas me, it's like, oh, I'm just going to reset tomorrow.
Totally. And that I've noticed probably more in the last year than ever, of exactly what you were saying earlier. I need to have the discipline to rest. Yep. Especially the week before my bleed. If I don't rest, it's far worse than what it would have been if I had in that luteal phase or week. Yeah. So
remember
for me, it's like the discipline of having the discipline to rest and going, oh, I might have energy in this moment, but I know that next week it's almost like I need to save it for winter. And it's funny, they call that menstrual phase winter phase anyway. So it's like you're kind of storing everything for winter and getting ready to then move into that phase. So I need to have discipline with that. But I would say, generally I find that it's actually so motivating having someone around you all the time that's very goal oriented and like driven to achieve what they've set out to achieve. And you are very good at keeping me, sometimes annoyingly good, at keeping me on track with what I've said I need to do. So there's so many times where I'll tell Zach, when I'm feeling really motivated, Zach, I want to start doing this. Can you keep me accountable? And you're the best at it, because you're like, hey, you said you wanted to reduce how much you're using your phone. You're on your phone. Is that aligned with what you want to do? And then I go, no, and I hate you for it, but it's so good because I've gotten further. I've probably progressed further with my goals since having you in my life than before. So that's, it's great to have someone inspiring and motivating around you all the time, where you can see them as an image of where you could be as well. And then having someone as well in the same career and working on this business together, you constantly have that mirror and reminder of like where you're both at. So that's, very helpful. Yeah,
and remember to enjoy life and things like that. And
I think that's what I'm good at reminding you of.
100%. Like, I can
don't forget to have fun.
I can get stuck in the weeds, so it's good to have that balance, I think.
Yeah, it's not that serious.
I asked Carly, one of our clients this week, she's been with her partner for 30 years, and I said, what's one thing you'd pass on to a young couple like us who met around the same age? And she said, embrace the balance, embrace the yin and the yang of each other. If one's more funny and fluid and crazy and one's more strict, like embrace that part, because then you'll have a nice balance. Yeah
Cool. I feel like that's the perfect place to close off this episode. I actually learnt some things about you, which is great. But I want to ask the typical question of the episode. This week, where have you seen innate intelligence at work?
Yeah. This one is definitely a little bit more raw. We both lost one of our friends last week, and he's our age, he's 26, and he's a chiropractor, and we're with him just 3 weeks ago. Sean Crawford, and it was very unexpected, and I think that's where I've seen innate lately, and it's not in the way you might think of like a super duper positive experience of like health or something. It was more, this is my friend, the closest person I've ever lost, so I've never lost anyone I've had a personal relationship for, and I thank God for that. Everyone in my life is still very close and healthy and well. But yeah, I lost Sean, and the feelings of grief has been something new for me. I've never felt grief before. I feel for people's grief, and I understand, but I've never felt it myself. So, 1 minute I'm really sad and depressed, and then the next minute I'm grateful and happy for my own life, and the next minute I'm confused and questioning my faith, and then the next minute I'm not feeling anything, I'm just disassociated. And you really put it well that grief is just feeling those waves and emotions and allowing your body to feel and heal it. And I think that's where innate has really been there for me, and I've experienced it because we are blessed to have this human physical experience right now, and our conscious and educated and ego world and mind may not understand what's next, and I don't know that answer, but I just know that innate has a greater plan, and that's where I think I've been challenged with innate, challenged with faith, but also trying to trust it at the same time.
It's such a blessing to have been in touch with that for so long now, that even in moments like this where you said like you've never lost someone or you've never experienced grief on a personal level, that belief is still with you, that like there's an intelligence within you that's taking care of everything and is going to look after you. Like that, to have that in this moment is so blessed and so privileged, more so than someone who never had that philosophy. So it's, we are blessed to carry that with us and to see the world through it. But was a tough week with that.
Where have you seen innate?
What comes to mind is a moment with one of our newer clients that is just, really showcases how clever the body is. I love seeing this, how clever it is. But we have a client who we've been adjusting and working with for around about a month, and her sacrum is just showing up every single adjustment in different ways. Like it's showing up to be adjusted, different patterns again and again. And she was interested in, say, like what more of the energetic side to the sacrum is and what that could mean. So I explained to her.
Just quickly for our listeners, when you say a sacrum is showing up, you mean that there is a blockage or there's a dysfunction in that area that's drawing you to that needs to be worked on?
Yes, okay. So her tailbone's continually showing up as blocked, or that it has a stored pattern of stress. So we've been adjusting it, and I explained to her sacrum's involved with first energy center. So this is things like survival, fight or flight mode, how grounded we feel, where our roots are from, more of that kind of older type of energy as well. And real survival and protection. So it's all about our body's ability to like protect and defend ourselves. And I just told her, this is what it relates to. What can you what do you see in your life that could have caused this to just keep holding stress? And she said, I did have a period of time where I was constantly in fight or flight, always in unsafe situations, neglecting my body. She had quite a long period of her time in life where she was, abusing substances and in unsafe situations, and she said that she never knew like what was around the corner. And so for her, she's like, oh, well, I was constantly in fight or flight. And she was quite literally like surviving in that moment and in those years. So that would be why that energy center keeps showing up, and then her tailbone keeps showing up. And what's interesting is back then what would have just been protection and guarding and being unsure is now chronic digestive issues and constipation, which again is related to the tailbone. It's related to those lower energy centers. And so what once was that is now this chronic constipation. So that for me is innate showing up, because it's so clever that it is literally in that time like been protecting her for all of those years and putting up these defenses and literally like storing stress and trauma in her tailbone to protect her. So even though it's, you know, her tailbone probably doesn't feel that great, it's like so adaptive and clever of the body to do that over time. And so I was just like, whoa, that's a big one. And now
powerful.
we're unraveling it.
Yeah, awesome. That's just very, very powerful work you're doing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And yeah, just exciting to help people with that depth. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for hanging out with me today, and thank you for everybody for listening.
Yeah.
It feels a bit weird when you have to talk about yourself. I usually like learning and finding out about people. And so, yeah, that was fun. Thank you for putting this idea together.
Yeah, all good. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Archie, for being a part of our episode.
Yeah, little comfort
and
dog.
Thank you again to everyone for, just putting us in your ears and having a listen.
Yeah.
We're still trying to really get this podcast like up off the ground. So it goes a really long way just to rate it on Spotify or wherever you listen to it, so that it starts to show up more for people, and so that we can actually be present on these platforms. So we would really appreciate that. And if you're ever interested in working with us as well, we're at the Innate Life in Geelong West.
Yeah, we're at the Geelong West, and if you're ever looking for a practitioner and you may not be in our place and our town and community, just reach out and we'll find you someone who is aligning with the same values and principles that we speak of in your town, if you can't make it to us, because we can only work on who's here, so we would like to support you however we can. Yeah, that'd be great. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Ciao.